we're talking about bags, specifically this one from VSGO. Probably not the sexiest subject in the world, but I've been looking for a new camera bag for a while, and recently a company called VSGO reached out and said, hey, do you want to test out this new bag we've made? And I said, sure, may as well. Honestly, I didn't really expect much of it, given that I'd never really heard of this brand before. I've been using it professionally over the last few months, and I must say it's kind of blown me away at how much I love this thing, and it has now become my daily bag that I take everywhere with me. Transporting my laptop, coming down to the studio and taking it out on shoots jam full of kit. It even came to Italy full of camera gear whilst I was shooting my review of the LUMIX S5 II, and has been pretty much strapped to my back when I've been out shooting around London for this channel. It retails at around £200, and I do think it's worth all the money. There's so much going on with this bag that I was almost overwhelmed when I first got my hands on it. It has a 20-litre capacity and basically has a central storage space which you can divide into two separate pouches with a Velcro divider, which is in itself very strong and sturdy. And this is how I have it arranged. You can of course take the divider out and have a much larger internal space, but I prefer to have two separate storage spaces. The bag also comes with a ton of these stiff divider sections, so you can pretty much customize the main storage spaces however you'd like. The lower storage compartment is really spacious. I've managed to cram a lot in there. When I was testing out the Great Joy lenses, I got all three of the anamorphic lenses in there, alongside the body of a LUMIX S1 and a LUMIX S5, and I've also got my Komodo in there with a couple of VSGO Vespids. I think the great thing when I'm using it on professional jobs is the fact that I can fit both a laptop and an iPad in it, so before we start packing up at the end of the day I can start backing up and ingesting rushes. I love also being able to bring my laptop and my iPad because I've been working with my iPad a lot more since I've been using the Red Komodo and the Red Control app. In the top section, I like to keep accessories, stuff like filters, monitors, handles, stuff like that. There's also just like a ton of smaller storage pouches and compartments, so many that I often just forget that they're there. But these are great obviously for, storing other accessories, filters again, spare batteries. It can help you be really simple and organized and keep everything in individual spaces. A lot of these internal pouches also have magnetized latches, which I love. It keeps them secure and sealed, and also avoids having to fumble around with zips, which I love. It has quite a unique fastening clasp system. It's basically this sort of swivel locking thing. Again, it uses a magnet to secure it into place. But what it basically means is that you can access and open the bag using just one hand. You don't need a lot of dexterity, so you can do it in the cold, you can do it with gloves on. And at first, I was a bit skeptical about the system, but actually it does really work in practice, and it's a really clever system. And one of the other features that makes it really great is that it has also one of those sort of handle loops, the sort of thing that allows you to slot it in on your suitcase handle or a pelly case handle. The top handle is just incredibly comfortable, especially when it's really heavy. It also has these two side pouches which are really useful. I guess they're there for using as like a cup or water bottle holder or stowing a travel tripod. But I've also used these two side pouches for actually just storing two prime lenses when I'm on a shoot and needing quick access to them. If all that wasn't enough to win you over, it also comes with a small tool wrench thing, the sort of thing that you need to adjust and tighten tripod plates. The bag is also made out of this, I don't know, it's not leather, it's some sort of plasticky type thing. It's completely waterproof. It is fantastic. It just looks super sleek and minimal, and I love it. The only criticism I have is that sometimes if you've got the bag lying on its front to access the main storage compartment, it does often make it a little bit difficult to simultaneously access the top pouch. It's a bit frustrating, a bit annoying. It means you've got to sort of seal up the bottom compartment and then flip the bag back up and get into the top pouch. But it's not a deal breaker, but when you're in a hurry, it can sometimes slow you down. It's just something to be aware of. But that's probably my only criticism of this fantastic bag. So if you couldn't tell, I love this thing. I wanted to give it a proper road test before I shared my thoughts on it, and as you can see, it's had some pretty decent use already. To be fair, it's been on pretty much every shoot I've done since they sent it to me. You can see a bit of gear popping up in my Instagram stories regularly. You can bet the reason for that is because I give it my approval and that I'm actually genuinely using it. So if you're looking for a new camera bag, then you could spend over £300 and go for something like the Peter McKinnon bag, or you could save yourself 100 quid and go for something like this.